Good evening and welcome to Bernlohr Stadium, where tonight we have women's soccer quarterfinal action here in the OAC tournament. Jimmy Bloomfield here with you tonight. Once again, the venue, Permort Field at Bernlohr Stadium. The Comets play host to the Heidelberg Student Princes. These teams obviously met back in OAC play, and strangely enough, we're right back where we started. Here at Bernlohr, 1-0 win for Capital over Heidelberg back on October 6th. The lone goal scorer in that game was Grace Estes, who scored her second goal this season at that time in the 12th minute on an assist from who else but Avery Hart. And here we are again with a rematch. Capital outshot Heidelberg 24-4 in that first game between these two teams. Let's get you caught up to speed on what happened in the last few games here for Capital. So senior night was here on Wednesday, a 3-0 win for Capital over Wilmington, who had a disappointing finish to their season. They are not in the final 6 teams that qualified for the OAC tournament. A bit of a surprise there. Capital won 3-0. 3 goals scored by Avery Hart, and then 1 goal scored by Avery Hart, 2 scored by Lexi Snyder to get the team to 3. Stanishevska and Rotolo had assists on the Hart and Snyder goals, and then Snyder also had a penalty kick goal for the second goal of the game for the Comets. They outshot Wilmington 22-6, and White made 4 saves en route to the shutout on Wednesday, which brought us to Saturday. And going into Saturday, Capital was 6-1-1, had a chance to, or 7-0-1. Sorry, the record here is not listed correctly. But had a chance to, if they won that game against Otterbein, they would have been the number 1 seed in this tournament. Got home field throughout, obviously. Otterbein came in at 7-1, and Capital came in at 7-0-1. And unfortunately, they weren't able to get the win over in Westerville. Delaney Earle scored her 15th goal of the season, which led the OAC on an assist from Morgan Summers. That was in the 54th minute. Shots were even, 15-14. Each team had 4 shots on goal, but Otterbein was able to find 1 to go home there at Memorial Stadium, and that was enough to give them the number 1 seed outright here in the OAC tournament. So we will see if a rematch with the Cardinals is on the horizon potentially in the final, and that would be a whole lot of fun. Just to set you up for the tournament now, again, it is 6 teams that have qualified for the OAC tournament. First seed is Otterbein at 8-1. Ohio Northern at 7-1-1 is also awaiting their opponent. They'll be home on Thursday, as will Otterbein. The 4 teams in action tonight, obviously the game in front of us is Heidelberg and Capital, and then the 4-5 matchup is Mount Union coming in at the number 4 spot, facing off with Baldwin Wallace. 6-3 versus 5-4, respectively, their records on the season. So we'll keep an eye on that game throughout this one as well, just to keep everybody updated on what will be the final 4 by the end of the night. A good matchup in this one. So Heidelberg's had kind of an interesting season. Obviously, kind of a surprise that they're here. They were able to sneak in as the 6th seed in the tournament, and not a lot of firepower on this team, but they do have one person to keep an eye on later. We'll get to that one. But they started their OAC play 1-4, and it looked like they were done. They had beaten Marietta 3-1, but they lost to Wilmington Capital, Baldwin Wallace, and then Otterbein. They lost 7-0. On October 16th, and at that point they were 1-4 and pretty much done. And then they put on a heck of a win streak. They beat Ohio Northern 2-0, giving the Polar Bears their first loss of the season. And that was 4 days after they just lost 7-0. They then lost to Mount Union 3-1, but then went on a rally the last week of the season, defeating John Carroll and Muskingum. And with those 2 wins, it was enough to get them in past Wilmington on the last day of the season, as Wilmington wasn't able to get the job done as well themselves. They started 2-0, and then they went 0-5-1 through their next 6. They did beat John Carroll as well in their last game of the season, but Heidelberg had enough points on them to get in front. And despite a 4-5 record, Heidelberg is here, and they're a little dangerous. Like we said, they just beat Ohio Northern 2 weeks ago. We saw a fun one here against Ohio Northern. It was a 3-3 tie between Capital and Ohio Northern here at Bernlohr. So they beat them 2-0 and pretty much dominated that game. It was not a fluke victory at all. And we've also seen a Heidelberg team that got smoked 7-0 to Otterbein. So they've kind of had two extremes, and we've seen two extremes in the last 2 weeks. So it's really tough to get a read on which Heidelberg team we're going to see in this one. Again, Capital had no problems with Heidelberg in their first matchup. It was here at Bernlohr. It was just a 1-0 victory in terms of the score, but Capital was in complete control of that game. They outshot the Berg by 20, and it really never felt like it was at threat. But Heidelberg gets a second crack at them and gets some of their own footage, let alone some other scouting that they've probably done on Capital throughout the year, but they get to go to their own game log and try to find some things that work, some things that didn't, and make those adjustments. Of course, Capital has that same script as well. And it'll be really interesting to see how these teams match up. I think in the early going, it'll tell us a lot about which Heidelberg team is here today, and they need a really strong performance early on in this game. They cannot afford to fall behind to the Comets early in this one. It's a very good goalie matchup as well. Taking a look at some of the leaders across the OAC, and Otterbein has Ohio, let me backtrack. Heidelberg has the #1 goalie in terms of save percentage. And it's at 83%. It's Meredith Bruce. She's out of Cincinnati, Ohio at junior. She had 123 saves this season. She faced a lot of shots. That's second in the conference. And then she also had an 83.7% save percentage on the year. So a high volume of shot, and she was the most efficient in terms of getting saves as well. Probably a front runner for goalie of the year, but we'll see how the voting shakes out there. Lauren White is third with an 81.9% save percentage as well. So you have two of the top three in this one matching up with each other in terms of save percentage. In terms of GAA, Lauren White is also third, .85 for her goals against average. And Heidelberg's Bruce is a little bit higher in that statistic. The 7 from Otterbein will hurt there. Speaking of the top players to watch out for as well, Audrey Kaufman, number 37. Remember the name for the Student Princes. She is their emotional leader and their best scorer. She scored 13 goals this season, and that ranks third in the OAC. She's second in points with 33, as she also tied for the league lead with 7 assists. Avery Hart on the other side is Capital's leading goal scorer. 91 shots this season for Avery. She had 7 goals, which ranked in the top 10 in the OAC as well. So kind of be an interesting matchup up front between those two goal scorers, Hart versus Kaufman. The edge there would be to Heidelberg. However, the depth around Hart definitely Capital's favor. Defense, Capital's favor. Goaltending, maybe a push, maybe a slight lean to Heidelberg. We'll see what is in front of the goalies today. I think that's going to tell a big factor in this game is which team can play better defense in front of their goalie, not make that mistake. That will be the key early in this contest. We're about a minute and a half away from the start of our starting lineups here at the stadium. I do have them in front of me, so I will pass them along quickly here. In net today, I mentioned Lauren White for Capital. She's a 5'5 junior out of Dublin, Ohio, joined by Cassidy Ryan, Haley Moore, Holly Barlage, and on the outside, Brooke Shuttler. And then you've got Olivia Rotolo in the midfield, as well as Mia Gambasini and Sophia Leonetti. And the starters up top would be Lexi Snyder, Aaliyah Berletic today, and Avery Hart. We'll get the starters for both teams announced here at the stadium.
Welcome to Permore Field at Bernlohr Stadium on the campus of Capital University for tonight's Ohio Athletic Conference Women's Soccer Tournament Quarterfinal, featuring the visitors from Heidelberg University and your Capital University Comets. Fans, at this time, let's meet tonight's starters. First for the visitors. Number 3, Sophia Jackson. Number 5, Megan Hamilton. Number 6, Mackenzie Dumpsa. Number 9, Maddie Louse. Number 10, Sydney Schaefer. Number 17, Ainsley Tucker. Number 18, Chloe Grevious. Number 21, Lexi Langwasser. Number 24, Becca Thomas. Number 37, Audrey Kaufman. And in goal for the Student Princes, number 0, Meredith Bruce. Heidelberg is led by Maddie McLaughlin. And now, fans, let's meet the starting lineups for Capital University. At defense, a senior from Westerville, number 3, Cassidy Ryan. At forward, a senior from Dublin, number 10, Olivia Rotolo. At forward, a sophomore from Canal Winchester, number 11, Lexi Snyder. At forward, a junior from Pickerington, number 15, Avery Hart. At defense, a sophomore from Pickerington, number 16, Haley Moore. At midfield, a senior from Westerville, number 19, Brooke Shuttler. At forward, a junior from Hilliard, number 20, Aaliyah Berletic. At defense, a junior from Wadsworth, number 22, Mia Gambasini. At forward, a senior from Milford, number 23, Holly Barledge. At midfield, a sophomore from Westerville, number 25, Sophia Leonetti. And in goal for the Comets, a junior from Dublin, number 1, Lauren White. The Comets are led by Matt Ogden, Jenna Kloppenstein, Giovanni Salinas, and Morgan Eakin. Fans, at this time, we invite you to rise. Gentlemen, remove your caps as we honor America with the playing of the national anthem.
And welcome back up to the broadcast booth here at Permort Field at Burnmore Stadium on the campus of Capital University. And it's tonight's quarterfinal matchup between Heidelberg and Capital here in the OAC tournament. One of these teams will travel on Thursday to face off with Otterbein or Ohio Northern. And the championship, should one of these teams go on a 2-game run here, would be on Saturday at the place of the lower seed remaining. So there is an outside shot. Capital could host a championship here on Saturday. There is a no chance that they will host on Thursday. They're going to be on the road if they win here in this one. Once again, for Capital, Lauren White is in net. Across the back, you've got Cassidy Ryan, Haley Moore, Holly Barlage, and Mia Gambasini. I might have said that wrong the first time. In the midfield, getting the start today, Brooke Shuttler, the senior, is back in there as she's replacing Gabby Vigiano. And also you have Olivia Rotolo and Sophia Leonetti in the midfield. And up top, Lexi Snyder, Avery Hart, and Aaliyah Berletic, the junior, gets the call over Grace Estes, who had been starting on the outside for most of the OAC season. But Berletic back in there to start things off tonight. Gabby Vigiano, we mentioned, not in the midfield. And then defensively, Haley Moore gets the call as the right center back in there in the place of Abby English, who's been a really good freshman for them. But coach electing to go with some more experience out there to start off today's match, and we'll see what the alignment looks like throughout today's game. Again, Capital won this one 1-0 in the second game of the OAC season. Grace Estes, who scored in that game, again, not in the starting lineup, but she was not in the starting lineup that game either when she scored her second goal of the season and put Capital in front 1-0, which was enough to finish the game by that count. Cap has the white jerseys moving from left to right. Heidelberg in the black uniforms moving from right to left. Very easy to tell the two apart today. Lexi Snyder on a run on the near sideline. Tried to center it towards Hart, and it'll be played back in there by Gambasini before collecting on the other side is Maddie Laus. Laus drops it back into the defense. Sophia Jackson plays it upfield, and it's stolen by Ryan. Ryan, too strong on the pass to the outside, trying to set up Roletic. Both of these teams have a prolific goal scorer, Hart and Kaufman on the other side. And two good goalies today, White and Bruce. A definite matchup to keep an eye on in net. Two of the top 3 save percentages in OAC regular season play between these two teams. And that's with a 7 spot that Bruce allowed against Otterbein. The other starters for Heidelberg, Sophia Jackson, Megan Hamilton, Mackenzie Damza, Maddie Laus, Sydney Schaefer, Ainsley Tucker, Chloe Grievous, Lexi Langwasser, Becca Thomas, and then Audrey Kaufman, who we just mentioned. Throw in for Capital on the high side of the field. No rain expected today. It is a chilly day here in Bexley. Throw into the box is cleared for a corner kick now. So that'll be taken by Gambasini. Gambasini connected with Lexi Snyder for a goal here on last Saturday against, or 2 Saturdays ago against Ohio Northern. It's an absolute thing of beauty. And ever since then, Gambasini seems to be targeting Snyder, or Snyder just keeps finding the ball, one or the other. But these have been really good for Capital lately. She swings it in. Snyder gets the first touch on it. It's down on the turf. A kick to center gets blocked. I believe that was Rotolo who followed that up. And now looking for help is Ryan. Drops to Shuttler, and it's stolen by Heidelberg, kicked off of their own team, and then played out of bounds by Schaefer. Throw-in coming for Gambasini as Capital gets back into their normal alignment here. Capital controlling play early on. We are in just the 3rd minute here. But Capital's had pressure already on the Heidelberg net. Avery Hart drives, tries to pick up the corner kick, and will. So Gambasini will get to try on this side now with the natural curve going away from the net rather than toward it. Heidelberg is the number 2 offense in terms of goals per game if you look at the overall records. However, in conference play, they scored just 1.22 goals per game, and they had 2.12 on the season, so kind of an easier non-conference schedule. Capital kind of the reverse, 2.56 in conference play, overall 1.47. So 2 very different stories being told. Capital was the number 2 offense if you look at just OAC play, and Heidelberg was number 6. In terms of goals against average, Capital tied for 2nd. Heidelberg also 6th again. Actually, they're 8th in goals against average, 1.78. But they do have that outlier 7-0 game, as we mentioned a few times already. And if you missed the pregame, this team was dead in the water. They were just got blown out by Otterbein. They were 1-4. Didn't look like they had any shot of making the tournament. They rolled off 3 wins to finish out their season, and one of them was against Ohio Northern, which may be the most impressive win that any team's had over any other team. Ohio Northern ended up beating Otterbein. Of course, Otterbein beat Capital. Capital tied with Ohio Northern. So those 3 kind of beat each other up. And the one team that kind of snuck in there was Heidelberg, who had such a great win against Ohio Northern, the upset of the season to this point. And it showed that this Heidelberg team is capable. And Kaufman, one of the best scorers in this conference. And sometimes all you need is that one prolific scorer play really good defense and give them a few opportunities. And that's going to be Heidelberg's game plan here. Keep this thing low scoring and try to set up Kaufman as best you can. Capital is going to have someone glued to Kaufman at pretty much all times, I would say, in this one. and make someone else beat you. Nice move by Kaufman there. This is her to possess that. Kind of rainbowed it off the back heel. Gambasini is attached to her hip right now on the near sideline, even though Kaufman's nowhere near the play. And now Gambasini leaves Kaufman and is able to make the play to get the ball loose. Now cap the other way, no numbers here for Hart. And Heidelberg gets another steal. Shuttler comes in to shut that one off, and it squirts to the top of your screen. Across midfield, Heidelberg has it again, but they're dribbling into a bunch of Capital defenders, and the Comets will take over. We're in the 6th minute now. Still no score in this game. Capital has been credited with a shot, but it was blocked. And Capital will settle down play now in the middle third here to try to find some space. Gambasini up the near side. And she gets shut down there. Good defense again by Schaefer, I believe, on the outer back for Heidelberg. Heidelberg has one player, their striker, way out front. That's Mackenzie Damza. And they seem to have kind of two on the wings, but they're playing more of a defensive approach, kind of having one striker way out front, whereas Capital has three out front. It's definitely more of a conservative alignment from Heidelberg, using their midfield a lot more to try to help on the defensive side. Kaufman is on the outside and kind of releases when she sees the play in front of her. Heidelberg has something here. It's centered to Kaufman, who gets taken down. And are they calling a penalty kick? Believe so. Are they calling a corner instead? It's a corner. Okay, I did not hear a whistle and would have thought that was kind of a light call there. So they just call it off of cap, and it's going to be a corner kick for Heidelberg. So here's the cross. Up in the air in the box. It's down now, and a kick that swung out wide. Moore is able to clear it for a throw-in. Heidelberg having their first sustained pressure of the contest here with 36:50 to play in the first half. Crossed in by Schaefer, headed out right away. That was Barlage there. And Barlage now plays it upfield, up the far sideline. A little back and forth with Berletic and Shuttler. Hart now clears upfield, trying to get Berletic involved. Too far out in front. It's going to play back to Bruce. And Bruce will send it upfield after Hart puts some pressure on. It bounces a few times, and that'll allow Capital to get control of it. Ryan fakes back, moves forward instead, and gets it across midfield. Berletic passing off to the midfield now and played all the way back to Haley Moore. Moore scoops it to the left side and played all the way back to Moore again. There's room down here with Gambasini if they want to try to get it out here. Looks like Shuttler wants to. Moore goes back to Shuttler. Shuttler did not get a lot on that to Gambasini, who jumps in and gets possession back. Now this defense is shifted to the bottom of the screen, so Capital will try up top instead. Good pass outside to Ryan. Ryan making a move, passes to Berletic, controls with the left foot. She sprints up the sideline. Something developing here, a cross off of Heidelberg, and now a corner kick as it's cleared by the defense. Ten minutes into this one, Capital has an opportunity now. And the Comets corner. It's a low one that's going to bounce And it was kicked wide by, I believe that was Shuttler. Might have been Hart. Either way, that was not what they were looking for. And a little bit of a missed kick there from Gambasini. Upfield now on the goal kick. Gambasini controls. Rotolo has it. Drop back again to Gambasini. Turn and go. Did not work there from Snyder. Gambasini gets it right back and plays it forward to Hart, who's able to dribble it free for a second there. Jackson takes it away next. And Heidelberg has absolutely nothing here. Good defense from Moore, and a foul is called against Hart on the back side there. That ball is line drive through. It actually got through 2 or 3 defenders there before it was stopped by Capital. And now Snyder to the left side. Breletic with the shot, and the first save made by Bruce. Meredith Bruce with the save. Goal kick now for Heidelberg. Bruce comes up with the first save that she needed there. And now Capital will try to get some pressure back on them. On the counter, however, it's Kaufman now. Kaufman, pass gets knocked down. No chance of getting through there. Gambasini is controlling here. And it's played all the way back. Breletic trying to get in front of that one. The ball just kind of kept eluding her there. Shuttler plays it back to Moore. Breletic and Moore Hart trying to get it up that left side. Those two have been the stronger side to this point. Gambasini trying to change that, calls for it, gets the pass outside, but it's too far. It goes out of bounds. Throw in for Heidelberg. Headed by Snyder to the center of the field. Rotolo. Heidelberg gets another takeaway, stopping another run, and they just need to continue this solid defense. Out of bounds off of Heidelberg. Trying to get a corner kick there. It was played by Damza, who tried to get it off of Barlish, but was not able to. Snyder turning and going. And now centers. Snyder just continuing to outrun her defender, Tucker. Plays it to the left side to Rotolo. Rotolo to Breletic. Hart clearing inside. Rotolo crosses for Hart. It's headed away. Breletic is going to get the first touch on it. Plays it back into the midfield. And a shot from Leonetti. And it's easily saved by Bruce. Too much air under that shot, kind of popped it towards the goalie. And the easy save is made. Played back to White all the way on the other side of the field now. Played upfield on the free kick up the far sideline, but Heidelberg's once again there to shut it down. No score early in this contest. We have 28:40 to play until half. No team has made a move to the bench yet, and I don't see any players warming up either. A few headers. Cap trying to find some room, but there's nothing there. Kaufman controls. And you don't see a goal scorer like Kaufman play all the way this back. And I'm telling you, that's a conservative approach that Heidelberg's taking early in this game. Keep everything in front of them as best they can. Cap will go all the way back to their defense again. Paul goes through the end zone on the attempted through ball to the right side to Snyder. So 27:15 to play, first half, and Heidelberg trying to get something going. They have generated a few shots. Actually, just one. It was blocked. Capital now has 2 shots on goal, one more threatening than the other. And they lead in the shots total 3-1. Up the far sideline now. Berletic tries to go inside with it. Has space. Working back and forth with Hart. Berletic has it again off a deflection. Blocked away 3 times. Ryan trying to follow up. And she plays it back into the midfield. Shuttler with a long through ball up the high side of your screen. Berletic saves it. Berletic looking for help. Controls it in the corner. Gets tripped up. Still has possession. And now it's taken away. Excellent defense on the other side. The clear too strong. Now Ryan with a boomer from outside, and it goes wide of the net. 26 minutes to play. It's still 0-0. First initial touch here is from Hamilton, but Hamilton smokes it out of bounds. Ball bounces a few times in front of Hart, passes over to Snyder. Snyder has Rotolo to her right, Berletic to her left. Tries to dribble it herself to the left, and Hamilton steps in front of that one too. Back to Damsa now. 25 minutes to play, first half action. Heidelberg holding in strong. An update in the other game that's been going on in the other OAC quarterfinal. Mount Union, 2 early goals. They scored a goal in the 14th and 16th minutes. And as a result, they are up 2-0 on Baldwin Wallace. So a little bit more high scoring there, but the 4 seed taking care of business early in that contest. Free kick coming for, is it going to be a throw-in? We have a throw-in, sorry, for Heidelberg on the far sideline. And it's kicked out of bounds off of the throw-in. So Capital will have a throw-in now on the other side. Haley Moore has it now. Moore dribbling up the right side of the field. Moore plays it down. Gambasini behind Snyder. She tried to stop her momentum. Wasn't able to, but it went through to Hart, so it works out anyway for Capital. Hart off of a defender, goes to Snyder, takes the shot. Save made by Bruce. Another routine one there. Punted upfield by Bruce. And that was weird. Hit a foot and then just completely went flat on the turf. Didn't bounce at all. And it squirted right to the Capital defense. Now Kaufman has it all the way back on this side of the 50. Plays it back to the defense, who chips it out of bounds. The Berg hanging in there on the second highest scoring team in the OAC, averaging over 2 goals a game in their 9 games played. Again, the first matchup between these two teams was 1-0. So Heidelberg has had success defensively against Capital this season. Still a lot of game left to go in this one. Snyder back to Gambasini. Shuttler now. Back to Gambasini again. Gambasini now to Moore. Moore looks to her left twice and then plays it inside to Leonetti. Leonetti back to Moore. Moore's been pretty involved for an outside back in this one. Playing way up, trying to create some offense for her teammates. Cap tries the high side of the field with Berletic again, who's been really good in this game. Not a lot to show for it yet, obviously. They're going to swing it down to Snyder. Snyder retreating, gets it back to Leonetti. Shuttler. Gambasini makes a run. And they go all the way back to Barlage again. Now a ball pitched in front of Kaufman. Tries to play it to herself. Put enough spin on it to come right back. Kaufman, centering pass, a shot, and they missed it. Oh, it just completely went off the side of the foot. Excellent setup from Kaufman to Damza, who was alone in the middle, and Damza just muffed the kick. And it went all the way to the right of your screen, out of bounds for a throw-in. Excellent setup by Kaufman. So some life in the Heidelberg attack now. And they're going to try it again to Kaufman. This time the through ball knocked down by Gambasini before it got clear. And now Snyder turning it around. Snyder's turned back. Upfield again, Schaefer. Sorry, that was 18 Grievous who makes the defensive play there. Leonetti hops to the right, passes it back to the left, and that's where Haley Moore is. And Barlage now plays it to the high side of the screen. Berletic trying to reverse field now, back to the middle. Oh, Snyder with a clean, oh, never mind, not clean tackle on Kaufman. So Heidelberg will get to go upfield with it now on the free kick. It's going to be taken by Sophia Jackson, the senior, out of Millbury, Ohio, to Lake High School. That's a great kick with a lot of power from Jackson, but it goes out of bounds off a header from Capital. So some field position gained, and now Grievous will throw it in. Strong throw to the attack of Damza, but she has to retreat after not cleanly receiving that pass. Lauren White will take it in net. Once again, White, the only goalkeeper listed on the roster for Capital. I'm not sure who the emergency keeper is, and let's hope we never find out. Berletic has some space, and her cross got blocked. And good defense helping out in the midfield by just coming back and booting it out of bounds. Berletic back in. Crosses. A shot! Shot wide by Avery Hart. So a really good opportunity there for Capital. But Avery Hart kicks it wide. Much better ball at least than the one we saw on the other side there from Damza. But two pretty good chances from straight on. In the last few minutes, one for each side. Cap still trying here. Hart. I don't know how she kept that possession there. Passes off to Berletic now. Berletic in the box, takes the shot, left foot, save made by Bruce. And some Bruces come raining down from the crowd. Pretty good turnout here today. It is, again, kind of a chilly night, but we've got a bunch of fans bundled up here. Some making the trip from Heidelberg in Tiffin, Ohio. About, I'd say, an hour and a half commute. Get an actual number on that. And 1 hour 44 minutes, according to the old maps. Heidelberg has not had any offense generated since that missed kick from Damza, which I'm wondering if that's actually ruled a shot. I feel like in the letter of the law, it would be a shot. No, they didn't get credit for one, though. I mean, it was pretty poorly kicked, so I can see not calling it either. Snyder cross to Bruce, and Bruce just completely misfields it, and Berletic gets an easy gift of a goal. And after all that effort and the saves that Bruce made, it's a huge error that just leads to an easy goal from Berletic. All she had to do was kick it into the back of the net. That is really frustrating on the other side, no doubt. But Capital will take it. And it's a goal for Aaliyah Berletic. Snyder, Hart, and Leonetti off now. Francesca Longano, Grace Estes, and Faith Durbin all check in. A little bit of a line shift here from Cap. And they lead 1-0 in kind of an unexciting way. And an easy goal. Olivia Rotolo is given credit for the goal there. Not Berletic. I'll trust their stat keeping over my eye down there. It kind of all happened so fast. Again, it was just an easy ball pitched across. And Bruce had it, bobbled it, misplayed it, and it left no one but evidently Rotolo in the back of the net. And she just puts it right on frame, and just like that, Capital's up 1-0. Kind of an uneventful way, but we like it anyway. Let's see if Cap can keep the foot on the gas here now with 15:44 until halftime. You want to keep this offensive pressure on. Heidelberg definitely deflated after that last goal, trying to change the momentum around here. And they've played such a strong half. Again, it's very frustrating for them to have to go down in that kind of a way by just a simple misplay in your own net. Free kick now for Capital. Cassidy Ryan will be taking it. Ryan hops, pops it in. Headed by Kaufman. Now it's controlled by Rotolo. Rotolo to Estes. Left-footed shot and a save made from Bruce. Gambasini now to midfield with Rotolo. Rotolo to Estes. Estes looks to her right. Couldn't get it out there quick enough to Longano. And it's trapped with the bottom of the foot of Shuttler. Help from Rotolo. Now it's to Estes again. Estes shut down. Grievous with a nice hit. And it's headed down by Barlage to keep things alive now. Barlage and Moore have switched sides, interestingly. I'm not sure what the reasoning is there. But Barlage is on the right in the center back now, Moore on the left. They were the opposite earlier. They must have switched with that round of subs for some reason. Gambasini able to get the ball loose. Yeah, Mia will send it into no man's land where Moore and Ryan will decide who's going to handle that. And it'll be Ryan to take it up the field, up the left side. A pass to the middle now with a Rotolo. Rotolo, not enough on it. Didn't get through to Estes. Heidelberg takes it away. We'll see some subs coming on the next stoppage here. Both teams will have a few. Longano had it and lost it. And a foul called against Capital. Two subs for Heidelberg. It's going to be Riley Ireland checking in, as well as Victoria Perez. And for Capital, it's going to be Kaylee Stanishovska. Heidelberg trying the top of the screen, nothing there. A tackle by Ryan and a throw-in for Capital, or for Heidelberg, excuse me. So Stanishovska is going to replace, I believe that's Berletic. And Berletic had a few words for Stanishovska as she comes on, and Berletic runs off. Really strong first half there from Aaliyah Berletic. You can see why she got the start, playing at a high level early on. For Rotolo, it is, I believe, her first goal of the season. That's correct. She was a striker before this season. Definitely playing more of an attacking midfield role, and she's more of a support offensive player now than an actual striker who's going to be taking a high volume of shots. And kind of surprising that she did not score this season, but she changes that with the goal here in this one, and one that was handed to her on a platter, unfortunately, by Bruce, who's had such a strong season. Again, might be the front runner for goalie of the year, first team goalie in OAC. And just a huge error that could end up costing Heidelberg a spot in the OAC tournament. They're going to need to get one back, and Can then go back to work defensively, and keeping Capital off the board again, I think, is going to be a tall task. I think this Capital attack has been too good in OAC play. Was probably going to come in here and score multiple goals. And now that you've given them one, I think that's definitely the case. With still 50 minutes of game time to find something to add to this lead. 55 minutes of game time to be exact, with under 10 minutes to play first half. Heidelberg can't get them both at once, so got to just take what comes to you here and try to find a way to tie this game up. Two really deflating plays, though, if you're rooting for the Berg. First, that pass from Kaufman, setting up Damza right in the center of the box. One-on-one with the keep, and Damza hit it so far off the side of her foot that it went out of bounds for a throw-in. And then the second play, a few minutes later, again, just a simple cross into the box. Bruce had it. Bruce lost it. It squirted loose, and no one was there on the backside defending. An easy goal for Capital to take the 1-0 lead. And those are really the two plays that stand out in this half so far. Estes, nice job to control that. She's got some space now. Estes looking to cross and had it kicked away from her, but Gambasini's there to back it up. Has Estes open. Estes is onside. Estes cut down, but it's going to be a corner kick. So good fight there. And they keep the sequence alive, giving themselves a corner kick with 8.5 minutes until halftime. So here's the cross from Gambasini. It bounces on the far post, and Stanishevska was there, but chipped it over the net. Excellent ball from Gambasini. It's actually Ryan there on the far post who had it, but wasn't able to get it all the way through into the back of the net. Instead, it went wide. Nicole Ogden checks in next for Capital. Ogden replacing Rotolo on that last substitution during the corner kick. 7.5 minutes. Here's Ogden with fresh legs, and she plays it off of Heidelberg. Thrown in now. A deep throw in. Into the box. Estes is there. Stanisovska's there. Neither able to control goal kick the other way. 1-0 Capital. 7 minutes to play in the first half. This goal kick is knocked short by Estes. Estes crosses Ogden. Off Lungano, and a shot wide again from Kaylee Stanisovska. Six and a half minutes left to play first half action. It's still 1-0. One more set of subs coming on, it looks like, for Capital. That's Maddie Shopes. Shopes replaces Gambasini on the outside here. Thrown in. It goes to Durbin. Durbin right back to the midfield with Ryan. Ryan's called for a foul. And we've got an injured Heidelberg player down on the turf. They're going to call the training staff out here. We'll step away while the injured player is attended to here. 5:52 to play first half action. It's 1-0 Capital. We'll be right back. Injured player making their way back to the bench here for Heidelberg. Obviously kind of a lengthy delay here. And trying to get the right number on the jersey here before I pass along the injured player. I believe it's number 18, Chloe Grievous, but she had been playing on the right, on this side of the field, and yeah, actually she's down in front of us, so it's not her. And it's just really hard to make out the number on the jersey here. I'm sorry. I believe it's Victoria Perez, number 15. She had come in as a substitute, the junior out of California. And she is walking under her own power. It is indeed Perez. So I don't think we'll be seeing her tonight, but she is able to make her way to the sideline, which is at least a positive sign. I think we could hear her kind of wailing in pain there. The mic was picking up a little bit. It was really kind of sad. And it's good that she's able to get to the sideline here. Obviously, you don't want to see anyone get hurt. Play resumes. Kind of a sombering moment here to end our first half. We still have 5:44 left to play and sort through here in this first half. Up on the far side of the screen, Heidelberg doesn't really have much there. Ryan is able to get it back to White. Now Ryan turns and goes up the far sideline. Stanisovska coming all the way back to help out. Stolen away by Heidelberg. A cross that gets knocked down, and Becca Thomas takes a shot. And it got blocked. It's loose in the box. And Ryan trying to find space again. Stanisovska trying to help out. And it's taken away now by Cap. Here's Durbin. Durbin plays it off to Ogden. There's numbers here for Cap. 5-on-5. Trying to split one right through to Lungano. It got knocked down. Durbin follows up. Lungano comes back to the play. Lungano dribbling, trying to find help. And she doesn't have any. Her pass, though, was able to get to Ogden. Stanisovska now trying to get through the defense and weave her way towards the goalie, but wasn't able to. Heidelberg just trying to hang on to this one-goal deficit. Capital trying to add one more here before the end of the half. They have a lot of fresh legs at the top of their attack. Good tackling up the far sideline by Cap. They finally call a foul against Capital, though. So the Berg has a set piece, granted from 60 yards away, but anything positive right now for this Berg team getting into the locker room. You're looking for some momentum. Stealing a late goal would kind of wash away everything that happened here in the first half. Thomas is able to get to that first. Thomas goes out wide. Now faces a double team. Thomas still fighting for it, but Cap gets it away. And that's Thomas able to get it back now. Estes is all the way back defending for Cap. A cross in off of Kaufman, excuse me, and it comes back to the near sideline. Shopes has it. Shopes and Estes working it up the field now. Taken away by Heidelberg. Sent back on by Barlich and out of bounds. 2:35 to play. Throw in for Maddie Shopes on the near sideline. And after that set piece, they were able to get some possession down there in front of Capital's net, but nothing threatening. Shots in favor of Capital now, 12-2. They've really opened that up. Miskicked here by the defense. It'll give Capital possession with 2:15. Throw in far sideline. Ogden plays it back to Shuttler. Shuttler out in front of Lungano. Following up is Kaylee. Passes outside to Durbin. Durbin crosses. Blocked and throw in. That's too bad. Went right at the flagpole there in the corner, and it went to the left side of it from our vantage point, which would mean it's a throw in. So obviously a lot harder to throw it in here than kick it in. Big throw towards the box. It got through. Comes back out to Ryan. Ryan trying to control. Cleared by Heidelberg. Another throw in, though, with 1:28 to play. Deep throw in towards the corner here. Trying to get some deep territory. That should be a corner, I think. Lingano must have touched it last because she was boxed out, and it's actually going to be a goal kick. Bruce has a minute left, and she's appearing to want to get this back into play here, so Heidelberg will not just kind of run off this last minute, but she kicked it short. Estes got the first touch. Kaufman has it now. Kaufman trying to get past Barlish. She can't, and now we'll pass it off. And cleared out of the zone by Ryan towards midfield. Oh, they're going to call a foul. Stanisowska doesn't like it. Looked like she might have tripped over her own feet there, but nonetheless, it is a set piece again from about 50 yards away into the box. Headed by Barlish, and now Estes turns. Just get out of it. Just clear it. 12 seconds or 15 seconds left in the half. She does possess it for a while, and Cap trying to turn this into an opportunity. Stanisowska's not going to get there first. It's cleared by Jackson now, out of bounds, and that'll do it for the first half of play. Well, it was a great half for both sides. Heidelberg unfortunately commits the error, and that error has them down on the scoreboard now 1-0 as a gift of a goal given away to the other side for Capital. We'll take it, and we'll take a lead into the locker room. 15-minute break, and we'll be back with half number 2 in the OAC quarterfinals from Bernlor. Stay with us. So we got about a minute left until we resume play here in the second half. It's 1-0 Capital. Jimmy Bloomfield here with you, live from Primor Field at Bryn Mawr Stadium on the campus of Capital University. The OAC tournament quarterfinals. Both of these teams looking to move on to Game 2 in the semis on Thursday. That game will be played at either Ohio Northern or Otterbein, depending on who we see come through this first round. Mount Union ahead in their game 2-0 over Baldwin Wallace. And here again, it's 1-0 Cap on the goal from Olivia Rotolo. And it was basically a freebie. Ball got crossed by Snyder into the box. Bruce misplayed it, and an easy goal for Rotolo. Shockingly, her first of the season, but she's able to make an impact, the senior out of Dublin. Lauren White was pretty good in that first half as well. No saves, but she was, obviously in the right spots at the right time. 5 saves made by Meredith Bruce. Capital outshot Heidelberg 13-2. They had 4 corners compared to just 1 for the Berg. And Heidelberg will be looking for some more offense here in half number 2. 37 is going to be the woman to watch, Audrey Kaufman, who has been playing a lot of defensively on the wing. She's kind of playing very far back on the defensive side, and I think we'll see that change here, which could be both a blessing and a curse, because if she's going to be focusing more on the offensive side, the other wing will probably be playing up more too, and that could spell nightmare if Capital's able to get in behind them. So look for that early in this one. We'll see if Heidelberg is more aggressive offensively, or if they are going to kind of wait this thing out and make that push later. Always kind of a tough dynamic to decide when to go, basically. And it will be right out the halftime gates, or are they going to try to feel out this attack a little bit more before they put the foot down and really go for it here? The men's team also in action. They're at Wilmington, and the Quakers are up 2-0. One of those goals scored on a PK, and unfortunately, the men in a bit of a hole at Wilmington. We'll keep an eye on that one as well and get you a final update before we're off the air here tonight. Capital will get the ball first, right to left, as they start half number 2. That was all Cap in half 1. Heidelberg very easily could have escaped out 0-0. They did not. And now they have a tough hill to climb here in half number 2. We're underway. Sent into the left side of your screen and down towards the bottom corner. Nothing there yet, and Heidelberg trying to find some area to get it out. Becca Thomas comes back to the play. Ryan shoves off Thomas, and now she's got possession for Cap to the near sideline. Berletic is down there. Berletic somehow able to keep possession, now passes it off. Hart with a bomb into the top corner, and that was quick. Avery Hart, top shelf, and it's 2-0 Capital. Well, that answers that question. Is Capital going to come out firing here? And will Heidelberg be able to stop them? And there it is, 30 seconds in. Avery Hart with a bullet into the top corner. And Cap's up 2-0, and that might be the death kill right there from Avery Hart. One goal was going to be hard enough for Heidelberg to try to erase. And now they got one in the in the first 30 seconds here to make it 2-0. So now Heidelberg doesn't really have a choice but to try to get more aggressive offensively and try to make something happen. And Leonetti has all kinds of space in the midfield. I think Capital's going to have a lot of space in the midfield here in this part of the field. Up cross. Hart again. It got blocked. Snyder's here now. Snyder played it back. Leonetti tried to charge at it. It comes all the way back out to Gambasini. But once again, lots of room for Capital to work with in this area of the field. I think this is where you're going to see most of the possession, in between this 40 and the start of the box, that 20-yard area. That's where Cap is going to be able to really do some damage, since that midfield from Heidelberg is going to have to play a little bit up. On the far end of the field, Snyder to Hart. Hart tries again, gets blocked. Hart was second in the OAC in shots and kind of had a quiet first half. She only had 2 shots, which was the most of any player, but still, for her standard, a little bit on the smaller side in terms of her volume. She usually averages over 5.5 shots per game, and she's been pumping them out here early in half number 2, including the second goal of this game. Rotolo and Hart, the 2 goal scorers. And Capital now out shooting Heidelberg 16-2. And a foul called against Heidelberg as Rotolo gets taken down. This is going to be a really tough task now for Heidelberg. Not a very high-scoring offense when you take Kaufman out of the picture, and that's all Capital's really going to focus on now, I would think. Make someone else beat you. But they've just got to get possession away from Capital, and that's going to be hard enough. That's the 8th goal of the season for Avery Hart, by the way. By far and away leading the squad. Bruce is able to come away with this one. Shuttler playing it back to Moore, and Ryan now controls. Ryan to the high side of the field this time. Gambasini and Snyder were in the area. Now a bullet through to the box. White will vacate the net and go and get that one. Still very early here in half number 2, 41 minutes to play between Capital and looking ahead at next week, on Thursday, Heidelberg and Cap here. If Cap hangs on, they will take on Ohio Northern next. Damas with the shot. That is not going to happen, and a foul is called against Capital. There was absolutely nothing behind that shot, and it's because of the yellow card issued to Shuttler. So a sign of life here for Heidelberg. Kaufman will not take this set piece here, so they are going to try to cross it in. Sydney Schaefer and Maddie Laus are in the area, and it's Laus who will take it, the sophomore out of Wapakoneta. Keep an eye on number 37. She's in the middle of your screen. In the front of that group of black uniforms. So Laus setting up. And the kick. She goes for goal and shoots it wide. I don't know if she was trying to shoot it into the post there or try to get a touch. But if she was trying to get a touch, she put too much on it there. And as a result, it's a harmless play through the box and a corner or a goal kick now for Cap the other way. Berletic not on the same page with Ryan. Ryan was cutting up field. Berletic kicked it behind her. Leonetti gets fouled. Shuttler starts the rush again the other way here for Cap. Up the far end of the field, Gambasini. Excellent ball. And Bruce comes sliding across to make a save and keep Heidelberg in it for now. Be a throw in for Capital. Credit to Bruce there for sliding in there and making a good stop. Oh, kicked out of bounds now by Capital. Trying to find a setup there for a corner, it looked like. Or a cross, at least, from the outside, and it was not there. Deep throw in up the far side of the field. Headed by Shuttler, headed by another. And now Cap has it again in that corner. And Capital kicks it out of bounds. Throw in for Heidelberg once again. Deep in their own territory, trying to get it out, get some breathing room here. Cap is able to at least get possession here. Pass down to the bottom of your screen. Ryan sets up, passes inside. Now chipped to the left by Breletic. And offsides called against the Comets. .38 minutes even left to play. Heidelberg trying to get a pass over to Damza now, and really nothing threatening there. Capital's defense was all over it. Abby English is in there, by the way, defensively with Haley Moore now. Interestingly, that English did not get the start. She has been such a great defensive player for Capital all season. And she's in there to start off the second half, but was not in there to start the game. And again, I wonder how much of that is just looking for experience early in the contest, given that it's a playoff game. Or maybe there's something else to it. I'm not entirely sure. Throw in coming for Capital on the far end of the field. Capital out shooting the Berg 18-3 now. Pass down to the bottom of the screen. Ryan and Shuttler are there. Down in the far or near side corner, crossing. Hit by Heidelberg's first. Hart plays it back. Ryan set up for the kick. It got blocked. And now kicked out of bounds. Oh, towards the sideline. Saved by Thomas. Looked like Heidelberg was just trying to clear. Kaufman and Thomas heading upfield now. All the way back in the near corner, and that's going to set up a corner kick now. Gambasini will be able to cross it towards the goal here with an in-swing. Kind of has a natural curve towards the net here from this side. So she'll be looking for a touch to finish it off. Left hand raised by Gambasini, and here we go. Cluster of players on the far side of the field. And that's a goal from Gambasini. She crossed it in herself. How about that? Mia Gambasini with a screen in front of the net. She just put it on goal and it went in. Simple as that. And it's 3-0 Capital. Wow. I believe that was Ryan who was in front of the goalie there. And Bruce, I don't think ever saw it. And there was a cluster of players kind of way off to the high side of the screen there on the right side of the box. And all Gambasini did was curl it towards the goal, and it curled in somehow. A spectacular goal scored by Mia Gambasini. Wow. 3-0 Capital. Gambasini with the goal of the night. And she's also scored her first goal of the season. She has 3 assists. And corner kicks lately have been a money situation for Capital, and they continue that with the early goal here in the second half. Again, it's only been 10 minutes and some change, and Capital's already scored 2 here in the second half and has really put an exclamation point on this. And now it's just about getting through this clean here the rest of the way. Someone from the bench just screamed, "We're not done yet," so Cap trying to send a message for sure in this one. And again, this first match, Capital outshot Heidelberg 24-4, and they only won 1-0. So I think trying to make a statement here in this one again. They have 3, and they're trying to add on, and this is a great look for Hart, who shot it off the side of her foot. Oh, man, Hart wants that one back for sure. She shot it off the side of her foot, and it hit off of her own teammate. And she is looking down as she walks back towards onside in disbelief. Now Heidelberg has a chance on the opposite side. Kaufman ran out of gas there and is able to at least win a corner for Heidelberg. Well, Avery Hart scored a lot of goals and won a lot of games for this Capital team, so I'm sure she'll be upset about that one for sure, but at the same time, yeah, she already has one today, and you'll take the good with the bad. That's just one she's going to want back, simple enough. Now a corner on the other side. That ball's loose in front of the net, and Capital's defense blocks it. And I think they're going to call a handball against Capital. It's either a foul or a handball, not sure which. I think they're calling a foul against White. And here's the opportunity that Heidelberg needs. It's a penalty kick. They have to score here. Absolutely have to score here. Down by 3 goals with 32 and change left in this game. You've got to find a goal here. And if you get a save on this on the other side, all the momentum stays with Capital. Clock is stopped, 32:45 to play. Now the officials are talking to the right of your screen here. I don't think they're going to change the call at all, but interesting that we have that conversation here. And here we go. Is that a red card? Wow, they have issued a red card. And I believe that's Aaliyah Breletic who's being escorted off the field. Or is that Leonetti? They're giving a red card on Sophia Leonetti, so her day is done, and Capital will be playing 10 on 11. And Leonetti could be given a red card because she got the handball and basically saved a goal, playing like a goalie. And I guess they deemed that it was an intentional move on Leonetti's part. And because of that, her night is over. Wow. So what a change of events. Rotolo and the goalie White can't believe it. They're talking to the official down on this side. And Leonetti is issued a red card, and things have changed quite a bit now. If Heidelberg can score here, they're down 2 still, but will be up a man. Well, if there's ever a time for White to step up and pick up Leonetti, here it is. And the shot off the post with the help of White. It stays out, and Capital hangs on to the 3-goal lead. And now it's on a bounce off of Heidelberg. That is a huge save made The shot hit off the post. Ainsley Tucker was the one who delivered the shot. And again, I'm not sure if White helped it off the post or not, but you know what? We'll say she did. And either way, keeps the ball out of the back of the net. That is a huge lift when you see one of your teammates has scored it off the field seconds earlier. So with 32 minutes to play, Capital stays ahead in this one by 3. And that extra goal is a nice cushion here. Well, 10 on 11. I've never seen Cap play 10 on 11 here. This is my 9th year now doing this. This is certainly the first red card I've seen under Ogden here at Bernlohr. And it does obviously make this a little bit more challenging when you're down a player, but Cap is going to stay with 3 out up top and basically just sacrifice a midfielder. I think it's going to be a 4-2-3 kind of rotation here. Thrown in by Ryan. Berletic trying to keep this thing down. Wow, I still don't believe that save made by White. That was such a huge lift. .30-50 to play. Oh, they almost had Berletic. She was able to get free, but not able to get to the ball there, just a little bit out in front of her. And if Cap can score one down a man, that would really obviously change everything. Barlage is trying to come in here. She's going to be the next sub for Capital, and not a bad idea to get another defensive-minded player out there, especially with a 3-goal lead down a man. But Cap's still trying here. Put on net by Snyder. Bruce is able to make the save on it. Now punts it upfield. A lot of what-ifs in this game, and Cap is taking advantage of opportunities, and Heidelberg's not. It's as simple as that. And even though Cap makes a mistake, they're able to come out of it relatively clean. Obviously down a player, but still up by 3 goals. And the time is in your favor here. And Heidelberg not able to do much yet with this 11-on-10 situation, but now they're trying. So here we go. Thomas has it. She crosses it in, and it's behind Damza. Now a shot on net. White makes the save off of Maddie Laus. No one was home for the rebound. It was loose momentarily, and then it's swept out of bounds by Capital. 2 subs coming on. Barlage is going to replace Ryan, I believe, and Durbin replaces Shuttler. It's Gambasini coming off for Barlage, actually. So Gambasini, the 3rd goal scorer, and Shuttler replaced for Durbin and Holly Barlage. So now Barlage, Moore, and we'll talk about that in a second as we've got a run up field. Not able to get it to Hart from Berletic, who's playing more of a defensive attacking midfield now. They have just one striker with Hart. I was waiting for that kind of alignment to change. So Barlage is in there with Moore and English. English is playing as kind of a right center back as opposed to 2 center backs. There's 3 now. So Cap has completely changed the alignment. Snyder has dropped back to a right outer back. So you've got 5 defenders now for Capital. It's Ryan, and then Barlage, Moore in the middle. To her right is English, and then Snyder on the far side. You've got 3 midfielders with Rotolo, Durbin, and now Berletic. And you've got a striker with Hart. So it's a 5-3-1 alignment now. With a 3-goal lead, seems to be the right move to get a little bit more conservative. That being said, Cap is still on the attack. There's no doubt about that. And Hart has a pretty good shot here. She keeps going to the right, didn't find a shooting lane. So they pass it back to Ryan now. No numbers here for Cap, but good positioning on the field, waiting for something to develop. And a shot from Ryan. It got headed up in the air. It's down on the turf. Berletic is there. Berletic trying to shuffle through 2 defenders, and it's cleared out by Heidelberg. And now Damza trying to get across midfield. Drops it for Kaufman. Nice fake by Kaufman. And then Durbin follows it up. And a foul called against Heidelberg. Free kick coming for Capital from about 50 yards from the goal. Heidelberg's bench doing everything they can to try to urge their teammates on. That ball's headed out. Down on the turf, headed back in. Damsa coming back for it. Out of bounds. They say it's still clean, though. That was right down in front of me. That ball was over the line. But it goes to White anyway. Rolled to Haley Moore now. Moore to Barlich. Barlich passes into the midfield to Durbin. And Durbin now goes back out wide. English. Nice ball to Berletic. Berletic with Hart out in front and a lot of room to her left. She dribbles it left and then a missed kick there trying to feed it down low to Ryan. Rotolo, back to Ryan, back to Rotolo. And now Hart has it again. Hart lost it back into the midfield. Durbin back up. Trying to cross it in once more. That got shut down and cleared out of bounds by Rotolo. Race against the clock. .24 and 40 seconds. 24 minutes, 40 seconds left in this one. It has been a high-scoring second half. 2 goals in the first 10 minutes for Capital. And then an eventful red card penalty kick situation. And Capital trades a player to keep a goal out of the net, essentially. And they still hang on by a 3-0 lead as a result. Keep an eye on the men's game. The men have scored a goal. They stay back in that one. It's 2-1 now. In the 47th minute, Jack Francisco scores for the Capital men's team, trying to upset Wilmington over at Wilmington. And the telling number in that game, shots on goal, 7-2 in favor of Cap, 19-5 shot advantage in favor of Cap. But with 21 minutes left, they're down by a 2-1 margin. Thrown upfield, header down. Laus has it. Laus with a big leg. Kicks it out of bounds off of Heidelberg. Heidelberg on a counter at the left side of your screen. Nothing doing. Oh, top corner, I guess, right side of your screen. Left side of the formation. Nothing there. And Cap has a takeaway again. Lexi Snyder playing back as a defender, showing she still has that offensive skill. Tried to pop it through. Nothing was there. Heidelberg recovers. Laus and Rotolo battle. Rotolo wins the battle. Rotolo passes to her right. Berletic and too far out in front of Hart. 2.5 minutes, though, have gone by since we've last checked on the scoreboard. And in that time, no goals scored the other way. Still 3-0. Again, Heidelberg's playing up a man right now. We haven't really seen it come into play. There hasn't been a situation where they're just completely outnumbering Capital or anything like that. And kind of surprising with how, again, given an extra man, it still kind of seems like Capital's in control of possession and taking more shots. Laus changing that, takes the shot here, and a save made by White. That's an excellent save by Lauren White. She's been big when called upon. Corner kick coming for Heidelberg. Still waiting for the ball to be sent into play here. One of these set pieces got to go at some point here for the Berg. Here's a cross in. Headered out of the zone by Hart. Oh, off the side of the foot of Rotolo. And White's able to save it from going out of bounds. Scoops it up and gets ready to throw it downfield now. Punted down on the turf, headered, and now Berletic comes away with it. Berletic dribbled into traffic, taken away by the Berg. Durbin's there to knock it down. Durbin to the right side, and that's a cutting Snyder. Snyder crosses, headered out of bounds. Save attempt at the corner there, not going to happen. And it's going to be a corner kick for Capital. Gambasini's not in to take it. And a lot of Comets are standing around waiting to see who's going to take it. Lungano, Staniszewska, and Estes are coming in as part of a sub. Still don't know who's taking this kick for Capital. And it looks like it's going to be Estes who goes out there to execute the kick here. Again, this is normally a time where you would call on Gambasini, who just so happened to put one in the net from a corner kick earlier in this game. Estes left it way short, and it's knocked down by Thomas. Thomas trying to feed Kaufman, and it's too far out in front. Out of bounds again, 18:20 to play. And the throw-in goes short here. Cap gets good positioning on the field once again. Staniszewska outside. Estes has it. And Estes is tripped. No whistle. And we play on apparently. Sent upfield. Dribbled by Thomas. Thomas crosses. Sends it to the middle of the field. Heidelberg has it again, and kicked out of bounds by number 21. That is Lexi Langwasser out of Reynoldsburg. Lungano has it now for Capital. She's playing on the outside back position here on this side of the field opposite Snyder. Staniszewska's playing as the striker now, and Berletic trying to feed it to Kaylee, and it's going to go on a bounce off of Staniszewska. Capital has a chance here with St. Asobska. Now it comes back out to Rotolo. Rotolo down to Durbin. Durbin all the way to Snyder now. And with 17 minutes left to play, a 3-goal lead. Cap is still pushing hard here for another tally. Into the box. St. Asobska fakes the shot. This is actually Berletic. St. Asobska's there in the rebound. What a save by Bruce. Unbelievable save. Bruce absolutely robs St. Asobska there. What a fantastic save. Wow. 16:37 to play. Bruce with her best save of the night. And now Heidelberg hard on the counter. Corner kick will result from this situation. Wow, that was a heck of a save by Bruce. No other way to say it. "16 minutes and counting. Cross through, it goes through the entire box there off of one Heidelberg player, and it'll result in a goal kick. Nope, they're going to say that's off of Capital. So Heidelberg still hanging in there in this game. Here's the cross. That's a good ball to the center of the box. Kicked out of bounds by Heidelberg, though. There's a lot of speed on that one. Longano and Barlage and Rotolo will try to get it up the left side of the field. They're not able to. I don't think anything's really developing here for Heidelberg. And that'll be a goal kick. That was Barlage who lets it go out of bounds, kind of just boxing things out. Leaving the net, White once again is able to get to that. Moore clears it upfield. Oh, it's free ball for Cap, and Ogden was not able to get there first as Bruce leaves the net. Bruce has been really good at times. He's obviously given up 3 and made one huge mistake in that first half, but she made a great save just a few minutes ago and has actually been pretty good here in the second half as well. Ogden gets the takeaway for Cap. She came in for Berletic. Now a give and go with St. Asobska, and Kaylee's going to have to chase that one down after the attempted pass is blocked. Heidelberg still trying to keep some fight here in the last 13 minutes. And Capital has just been too solid defensively, even with the fact that they're down a player. They're still able to do the job in this one and keep the play for the most part away from their own net. Not a good report from Wilmington. Capital now down 3-1. A goal scored by Brady Vilvins for Wilmington puts them up 3-1 in the 75th minute. 13 minutes now left to play, and the Quakers lead by 2, so it looks like the men's season may be coming to an end here as the women look to advance to take on Ohio Northern in Ada, Ohio on Thursday. On the other side, Mount Union was up by a count of 2-0 at halftime. And we'll get a latest update from Alliance. It is currently Mount Union. Oh, sorry, hang on. More suspense. It's now 6-3. Make that 7-3. Baldwin Wallace. That is not a football score. Sydney Rice has 4 goals for Baldwin Wallace. And, wow, that game has turned on its head quite a bit. 7-3 is the score. Let's go through the scoring. In the first half, it was 3-0. And then in the last minute before the half, 23 seconds before the break, Sydney Rice scores to make it 3-1. And then they've scored 7 unanswered goals to take a 7-3 lead over Mount Union. Goals scored by Sydney Rice, Kaylee Neal, Sydney Rice, Ella Barth, and Alyssa Scatino. So Baldwin Wallace looks like they're going to pull off the upset. 9 minutes left. They're up by 4. 9-3, or 7-3 is your score. So Baldwin Wallace would be taking on Otterbein. Ball sent into the box here. Too strong. And Capital will be taking on Ohio Northern. And remember, Heidelberg will get on the board. So don't count him out yet, I guess, as Kaufman gets hers. Audrey Kaufman finally finds some space, and a ball that got pitched into the box. Kind of bounced past White. She was kind of on an in-between hop. And Audrey Kaufman is able to header one home for the Bergs. So I guess hang on to everything. It's not done yet. 10:27 to play. 3-1 score. And at least Heidelberg, for their own psyche there, gets on the scoreboard here in this one. Was ready to look ahead to Ohio Northern. It'd be a rematch of the game in which a 3-3 tie here at Burnmore. Last year, in the spring, technically this year, Capital was knocked out by ONU in the OAC tournament in the penalty kicks 9-8 in 16 rounds. So that tells you, or was it I think it was in 12 rounds actually, 9-8. Obviously with a 9-8 score in the shootout, it went for a while. And for Capital, a chance at redemption twice in the same year, traveling to Ada in the semifinal, with a matchup with Otterbein waiting potentially in the final. If not, it'll be the Yellow Jackets from Baldwin Wallace, who put up a 6 spot in the second half and have scored 7 goals in less than 40 minutes to advance over Mount Union. Heartbreaking there for the Purple Raiders. Blow a 3-0 lead and not only do it to like a 3, losing 3-3, going to overtime and losing or something like that. They just completely get destroyed in the second half, giving up 6 goals, and their season is over. Baldwin Wallace has punched their ticket. Capital trying to join them. Heidelberg has a high hill to climb here still, but they've gotten the first tally back. And remember, Capital is playing 10 on 11 right now. So there's a window here for Heidelberg, but they are racing the clock, and the clock is not a friend right now. Under 9 minutes to play. For Kaufman, it's her 14th goal this season, by the way, so you count on your big-time players to score in these kinds of situations, and she does. Puts some momentum back on Heidelberg's side. Now across into the box. Kaufman has it again. Drop back. A shot over the net and wide. Way wide of the net. And each ball that goes out of bounds like this is going to eat up so much time in this game. By the time White gets down, places it, sets up, kicks it downfield, you're talking 15, 20 seconds, and then the ball is going to be 30, 40 yards away from the net at minimum. This one gets to the 40, 50 yards away. controlled by Ogden first, and then Stanisovska helps control. Shuttler's back in there in the midfield. Shuttler has Lungano to her left and Kaylee in front of her. Goes to Stanisovska, back and forth between Shuttler and Stanisovska. Once again to Shuttler. That one got that pass got knocked down. Now Kaufman has it, looking for space, trying to get past Barlich, and she can't with help of Shuttler. They cut that one down. And now it's too far out in front of Ogden, who's going to be called for a foul, no doubt, on the collision with Tucker. Heidelberg is wasting time here. One player came off. And there's a lot of confusion as she's just, what is going on? The clock is still running. The Heidelberg player has just left the stadium. Megan Hamilton, I don't know what happened there. It seemed like a personal situation. And there's 2 balls on the field. Heidelberg clears it upfield. 30 seconds went by, and they subbed on a foul. It wasn't even supposed to be a sub. The clock continued to run, and Megan Hamilton has left the stadium. No idea what happened there. Play resumes. We have 6 minutes and 5 seconds left in the game. Heidelberg down by 2. That moment of confusion seemed to kind of take some of the momentum out of this Heidelberg attack. Excellent ball by Lungano, hit off of the Heidelberg player. Then she runs into her to slow down that run. And now Lungano is trying to just dribble it away from her net. She gets thrown to the ground. Advantage on for Capital. Stanisovska with a chance for the exclamation point, and Bruce makes the save. Stanisovska can't believe it again. She's turned away. Bruce has made 2 really nice saves on her. That definitely would have put it away. Still looking good here for Cap. 5.5 minutes to play. Barlage will clear. Heidelberg needs 2 to force overtime. 5 minutes and 10 seconds and counting. They need to get this ball in. Let's go. Throw in coming from in front of the Capital bench. Thrown in deep down the sideline. 20 yards. Berg get the first touch, but Stanisovska comes in and takes it away. Now Ogden on a run. Ogden doesn't really have any help, so she's going to try to bring it into the corner. Heidelberg prevents that at least. And now they try to turn it upfield. Shuttler now providing pressure. Shuttler going for the tackle and kicked it off of Heidelberg. Lungano to throw it in with 4.5 now. Chucks it into the corner. Saved. Nope, they're going to say it's out of bounds off of Heidelberg. That looked like the right call. 4:22 in counting. Thrown in by Lungano now. Again, she has Stanisovska to her left. Throws it into the box. Ogden controls. Ogden brings it into the corner. And Ogden trying to use her space there. Heidelberg has an extra player, so they can afford to kind of be more aggressive in the corner here. Force a double team, and then you can still mark up on the other side of the field. It's thrown into the corner again. Stanisovska and Ogden will try to play keep away. Heidelberg now sending more bodies into that corner, but they're losing valuable time. 3:45 and counting. Thrown into the corner again. Ogden drops it for Stanisovska, and it's now finally taken away by Heidelberg. Cleared upfield. Damza gets tripped up. The ball is still in play. Shuttler now kicks it out of bounds. Throw in from the Berg. Thrown into Damza again. Damza spins right into the defender. Durbin boxing out. Lungano can't keep it in play. Actually, she can. Excellent job by Lungano. And now Barlage will clear. Stanisovska's there. Headed away from her. Ogden backing it up. 3:08 to play. Ogden going for the corner again. And it's taken away by the Berg. Throw in coming for Black. Thrown in by the Student Princes, and they head upfield. Staniszewska steps in front. She gets taken down. No whistle. That ball's cleared out again. Barlich has it. She has time and a good long-distance pass to Durbin. Durbin goes back to the defense. Keep away continues for Capital. 2:40 to play. English sends it upfield. Durbin backs it up. Staniszewska shoved off the play, kicked out of bounds, throw in for Capital. 2:26. It's looking more and more like Capital is going to move on. Cleared up field by Heidelberg, but there's no one there with a black jersey to help out. Cap will clear it to midfield. Heidelberg still doesn't really have any kind of possession here, doing the best they can with it, but Capital is just keeping the ball away from their net, simple as that. Kaufman has it again. 1:55 and counting. Staniszewska's called for the foul. Set piece here for the Berg. This has got to be a goal off of this sequence here. They do not have time. A quick kick by Laus. No one was even set up. I don't know if Laus was trying to catch White off guard there, but White was ready for it. White makes the catch. And with a minute and a half left, I think it's safe to say Capital's got this one now. Ball's all the way to Bruce now, who's playing out of the net by about 20 yards. She blasted upfield. Snyder gets the first touch. 1:10 to play. And this is over. Heidelberg giving everything they got, but Capital's just too sound defensively here in the final minute. A chance for Kaufman. Kaufman loses it. Barlich puts it away. Shuttler now dribbling, finding space, dropping back, cleared by Barlich. 45 seconds. Ogden shuts it down. Staniszewska has it again. Kaylee back to Ogden. And Ogden can take this up to the corner if she wants. She instead crosses to Kaylee. Nothing there. 32 seconds left. Heidelberg has possession. And I don't think they have enough time. 25 seconds and counting. Domza with a run. Moore steps in front. That one goes out of bounds with 15 to go. And this one is certainly a grinded out kind of win when you're playing down a player for the final 30 minutes, but the defense holds strong. And just like this, Capital is advancing to the semifinals for a rematch with Ohio Northern. 3-1 your final. Gambasini with the exclamation point on the corner kick goal. Avery Hart with a blast early in the second half to give Capital a 2-goal cushion, and Rotolo takes advantage of the first mistake of the game and put Capital in front. They never looked back. And a well-fought game by the Berg, but Capital is able to come out in front with a 3-1 final. We thank you for tuning in. We might have a home game on Saturday. We would need an upset by Baldwin Wallace and Capital to have a game here on Saturday. If we do, we will bring that your way. If not, we wish the women's team luck on the road against Ohio Northern and hopefully in the OAC championship as well. And we hope to see them get that berth to the NCAA tournament. We thank you all for joining us tonight and throughout the whole season here on both the men's and women's side. We have basketball coming up. We have a few football games left, so stay up to date on everything Capital Athletics with the website athletics.capital.edu. We'll catch you next time here from the Capital Center in Bernlohr Stadium. I'm Jerry Bloomfield. Thanks for tuning in again, and good luck to Capital on Thursday when they make the trip up to Ada to take on the Polar Bears.